On your feet! Get them going!
Oh, hello. Happy Monday. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I don't know how much the intro played. I was trying to fudge around with it. Had to go get my coffee this morning. Anyways, welcome to the channel. I am Mike Miller. I am your host. I am not a pastor, priest, rabbi. I need to write this down. Theologian, scholar. I am not that bright, I guess. I'm just a guy on the internet that draws comic books and talks about the Bible. So if you're here for that, I'm here for you. Zero intro, Mike. It's fine. Oh, really? Zero intro? Okay. Well, let's see how that goes. What's up, Amy, Lady Celtic, DJ? So far, so good. That's who's in the hood. Well, on YouTube anyways. I noticed, you know how I mentioned before that just putting atheist in the title seems to garner much more attention than just doing a Bible study. How strange is that? And so I noticed the last couple of episodes I did where I put answering atheists, which I am. This is not a bait and switch. I am going to thankfully our good friend Skeptic Lou, Brooklyn Lou, the skeptic, I think that's it, answered my answer. Hi Lou, I know you watch. And so I will be getting into that. He left a nice long diatribe this time so I can get into the back and forth. I haven't read it yet, so this will be a cold read. Maybe he will outwit me with his anti-theology. Is having an anti-theology not a theology? Is it? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he has it. Mike getting his second cup of coffee. Actually, no, this is my first. I didn't have any coffee at home, so I had to go to the store. I mean, I could have made coffee, but I really prefer just the cold brew stuff. Peppermint. Christian excusegetics. Atheists called us that. Thought was amusing. That was hello, Mike. Trying to buy some tickets for A Working Man, but the cinema site is doing odd. Still going to watch it Thursday in Netherlands. All right, fine. Good. Working Man, good film. Minecraft. We went Friday. We had a party of 18 people. The theater was packed. The audience was, it was like an audience participation movie. Like, anybody ever go watch Rocky Horror Picture Show? It was like that. Like, so many of the kids in there had been watching all the memes and already knew all the scenes. And they were just like, they shouted out every line from every meme in the movie. It was a unique experience. Again, like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I don't think I've seen something like that in a good long time. It was more of an event, it seems like. And I walked out of that theater going, this is going to make $1 billion. I didn't even know what the Friday returns were, but I was like, this is going to make $1 billion. And by Sunday, Box Office Mojo had it at $300 million. So over the weekend, 300 million. I think this will make $1 billion easy. So so it was a scary movie, but then for Minecraft kids. Scary. I didn't see Scary Movie. Sorry. Thinking of investing in a caffeine IV. Or is that a caffeine 4 in Roman numerals? No? Maybe. I don't know. But I had a bit of a, I don't know if I'd call it a revelation. You know how I've been not conflicted, but doubting my vision lately, like the vision that God gave me, that I believe God gave me, and then I've been doubting whether or not God gave it to me, even though He gave me all these confirmations early on that that was what He wanted for me. Man, the message at church on Sunday was very much tailored to that. Like, it's like God might give you a vision. God might give you a specific message. This is what's going to happen to you. This is what I'm going to do with you. This is what I'm going to do with your offspring, whatever. And then, I don't want to say like nothing, but like nothing. For years and years, it's not like this is what you're going to be doing within a year, right? It's like if you get the vision, just move toward the vision and just trust that you are not delusional when you got those confirmations. And just be like, whatever happens in the meantime, whatever happens, it's all part of the plan. It's all meant to be. It's all whatever. It's I don't know. It was just so confirming. Is that the comforting? I think comforting is the better word. So like whatever happens, I mean, whatever happens in the meantime, just don't forget the vision. And if you have to do some other stuff in the meantime and whatever, then that's fine. I mean, I don't know if I've gone along the right way the entire time. I hope I have. But it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. And you have to just trust that. If something bad happens in the interim, the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. Bad stuff happens to everybody. I hate to break it to you. You don't become a Christian and then magically your life is perfect. But your life is purposed. Oh, genius. No. But yes, your life isn't perfect, but it is purposed. So it is, I don't know. I thought it was just very comforting. And then a little bit like even the high school service, which I was barely even paying attention to, he started talking about something and I was like, oh my gosh, you're like literally talking to me right now. So funny. I just came out of the whole church day yesterday being like, all right, I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm not going to stress any of this stuff anymore. Life, purpose, move, go. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Minecraft doing better than oh yes, a working man is still doing better than Snow White. A working man still beat Snow White over this weekend. By the way, I saw some Bible study flyers in my city. Oh, nice. Also bought a 2-part comic of Wolverine versus Predator. Isn't that old? Or they're not doing a new one, are they? What man's chief end in this world? To know God and to make him known. Love, pure blood, love. The whole purpose of the creation of mankind is because God wanted more to love. He wanted to love people. He wanted to have relationships. That's us. Real quick, I am going to share this. So my team over at what used to be Pepe Trump, we've changed it to Keck World. Why isn't the freaking background showing up? That's weird. Let me try refreshing it. That's bizarre. Oh, maybe they're editing it right. Like, oh, there it is. So we were making this game. It was initially going to be a Frogger game, but then they turned it into a racing game. So all these little animated political characters. Here's my Obama. So they turned it into a racing game, and I have not yet played it. But it's like, all right, there we go. And Brian Stelter. So there's two tracks. There's a water track and there's a road track. But at some point, maybe I'll do a little video tutorial on how to play it. But I just think it's cool. There, it launched this weekend. There's Rosie O'Donnell. And for my part, yes, I got to do these little animated GIFs of all these political characters. Big Mike driving that? No, that was not Big Mike. Big Mike is Big Mike's in the back seat, if you know what I'm saying. Let's see. Oh, Rachel Mad Cow. Mad Cow. Get it? All right. I should stop. All right. And there's a bunch more. If you want to go like kind of look through them, I'll just put the link there. They're on OpenSea because they are NFTs, super duper cheap. Actually, if you had KEX, if you are already in the KEX community and you had staked your KEX, then you would have been able to mint. I think you could have minted some for free. I'm not entirely sure. I really should know more about this since I'm part of the team. But anyways, let's not bother with that. Let's go to answering atheists. You know what? Let me just stop the screen. I don't need to share what he's saying. I'll just. That's my old. Oh, that's today's show. Derp. All right, where did my video go for? Here it is. Okay. All right, Brooklyn Lou the Skeptic says, okay, so take some time and really think. I will, Lou. Thank you. I promise it won't hurt. Ah, how extraordinary. How condescending. I will acknowledge that I used a poor choice of words when using the word ignorant. But it still works to make my point. I should have used the word unintelligent. Hold on. Now I need to open up his previous. So dumb. I have to read his previous comment to see why he should have used the word unintelligent. All right, his previous comment was agnosticism does not mean ignorance. It means that a person does not know something. So he's saying he should have used the word unintelligent. Agnosticism does not mean unintelligent, but it means the person does not. That doesn't follow because I wasn't making the point I was making. Okay, Brooklyn, Lou. I was making the point that you were responding to, that the word atheism and the word ignorant mean the same thing. So if you're saying that you should have used the word unintelligent, then you are saying, in context of what I was saying, that atheism. Let me go back and read that again. Agnosticism does not mean ignorance. It means that a person does not know something. Oh, so you're saying that an agnostic. No, I'm sorry. Atheism, not atheism. I meant agnosticism. So agnosticism and ignorance are essentially the same word. But you're saying that agnosticism should mean unintelligent? I don't think that follows. I know the very, very intelligent agnostics. So I think. All right, let me keep reading what you said. I should have used the word unintelligent, but nonetheless, please think about this. First, you need to know I do not speak Greek or Hebrew and will be using the English meaning of words. Okay, obviously. Here is the meaning of the word agnostic. Someone who does not know. I wasn't using the Greek or the Hebrew. I was breaking down the original. I think agnostic is Latin. Agnostic is not a word in the Bible. So I was breaking down the meaning. A meaning without, Gnostic meaning knowledge, without knowledge, which is the same as the word ignorance. Was IG is like without or apart from, ignorance, whatever the ignorance breakdown in Latin is. It's knowledge. It's basically knowledge without knowledge. So it's the same word. Someone who does not know or believes that it is impossible to know if a God exists. Okay, I see where you're getting. You're being pedantic about how you want to use a word. I was making the point that the actual words have the same meaning. The actual word agnostic and the actual word ignorance are practically synonyms. But let's go on with your pedanticism. Now I understand why you jumped on the fact that I said agnostic does not mean ignorant, because ignorant does mean lacking knowledge and has application here. I understand why you did this and get what you are saying, but the word ignorant does not apply to not knowing things are unknowable. That's a lot of negatives. The word ignorant does not apply to not knowing things that are unknowable. Think! He capitalized that with an exclamation point. If I were to ask you how many molecules were in the corpse of William Shakespeare when he died, and you honestly said you do not know, you would not be an ignorant person, would you? I mean, you would not know. The correct answer is no, because it is unknowable and is beyond the reach of human knowledge. You would be agnostic to how many molecules were in the corpse of Shakespeare, but you would not be ignorant. Oh, I see what you're trying to say. Now, to this current point in time, not a single person has been able to prove the existence of any supernatural gods, because we have no methodology to examine things that might be beyond the natural world. So you're claiming ignorance? Because there are many things that can be proven to be beyond the natural world. Now, whether or not scientists are willing to do studies on them, I mean, go watch the telepathy tapes. There's things that are happening that are outside of the physical world. They are very metaphysical, and they can be proven and they can be studied, but like quote unquote scientists don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because it's metaphysical. And the dogma of modern science is materialism. But that doesn't make it true. Just because scientists refuse to move beyond the material and therefore cannot or will not rather quantify, qualify, and prove the immaterial does not mean the immaterial is not real. It means they are dogmatic about their belief that immaterial is not real and should not be justified, qualified, quantified. That is ignorance, isn't it? Because they're choosing not to. They're choosing not to. Just like I said, you're choosing not to believe in a God, whatever God, that God exists. You're making the truth claim that reality can exist without God. That is a truth claim you're making. Therefore, you're choosing to be ignorant rather than claiming you cannot know. So maybe I'm a little closer to understanding the difference. No. So, until a person can prove the existence of a God outside of a person's mind, Well, it can. It's just you will not. It's a choice. If we are to be honest, we must admit that this is a belief or a faith. Well, there's a difference again. Belief and faith. People can believe in God and have no faith in God. So it's not the same. Those are not equivalents. Faith is belief in action. I take no issue with what people believe or have faith in, but you simply must recognize that having a belief or faith in something does not mean it is true. Right, like abiogenesis. Like you have faith in abiogenesis, right? You have faith in that. You have faith that everything came from nothing, uncaused, without intelligence or purpose. Your faith is great. It may be true or it may not. So you really, again, you have two positions. Everything came from nothing, random, meaningless, dead chemicals and molecules just coalesce together to create the DNA code, the software, and then the hardware. Or was it the hardware and then the software? See, none of that makes sense. Can you build without? Can you build a machine without intelligence? Can a machine be randomly built by like just mixing things around and hitting them with lightning? Can you create order and design out of chaos without purpose, without intelligence, without a greater power to move that? That is your position when you take the atheist position. Without, and whatever the God in the machine is, to take the position of the contrary is to make that ridiculous claim. And that is a ridiculous claim that you hold faith to. Not that, oh, I just don't believe in a God, the Christian God, the Buddhist, whatever. You don't believe in anything beyond the physical world. You're making that claim. And that claim is provably ridiculous. So your faith is greater because just the claim, just the deist claim, even just, okay, God made it happen and then moved on and doesn't care about us. Even that is at least within the realm of possible. The atheist origins of the universe claim is impossible. You don't have to be agnostic or ignorant. That's just a willful claim. It is a willful claim against the obvious that cannot happen. This again is not an agnostic position and not ignorant or irrational. Oh, it's very irrational. It's extremely irrational. Now, the idea that atheism is a belief or faith, this is just a clear rejection of the word means in English. No, because you're again, you pushed yourself into the corner of having to choose one or the other. It's either theism or it's atheism. It's either there is a God or there is not a God. That you don't want to believe in a God leaves you in the belief that all these things could have happened. All these things are even within the realm of possibility without a God. That is a belief. You can deny it all you want, but there's no exit door to that room. You are stuck there. This is just a clear rejection of the word means in English. This is the meaning of the word atheism. Disbelief in the existence of a supernatural God or gods. That's it, Mike. I know. Which leads to a logical, rational conclusion that you're pretending doesn't exist. How in the world do you change the meaning of this word to mean belief or faith? Because there's no other option. Lou and every other atheist out there. There is no other option. You can't just dodge this as if there isn't a repercussion to your choice. There is a logical, rational conclusion to your choice, and that logical, rational conclusion is that you believe in the illogical and the irrational, and then you claim that we're the ones that are illogical and irrational. It's kind of hilarious. It's literally the exact opposite. Now, do atheists believe things? Of course they do. Everyone believes things. What makes a person atheist is not what they may believe, but is exactly that they do not believe in gods. Apologists who say atheism is a belief or a faith are simply misusing the word. This is totally fallacious reasoning. Wrong. Sorry, I don't know how else to say it. Wrong. I could steel man this. 2 words. Brute fact. Excellent. Sorry, I have been ignoring the chat, reading the atheist argument for so long. Let's scroll up and see what you guys are talking about. I thought Brooklyn was better than that. Sad. Oh, is he trying to insult us? He's probably just trying to insult me, DJ. Don't worry about it. Ain't that a synonym, or am I wrong? Yes, it's a synonym. Many scientists are agnostic, which is fine. It's when you claim atheism that you are obviously no longer unbiased to the results. You can be agnostic and be unbiased to the results, or be unbiased to the evidence, if you're truly agnostic. But as soon as you say you're an atheist, your bias weighs heavily on the material. Almost uniquely. Your bias weighs uniquely. Is that the right word? Like you can't get away from the material if you claim atheism. Like only materialism, right? Was a jokey, and people think my pedanticism is exhausting. Amy says it is not unknowable. You would know how height and weight math like crazy and come up with the answer. Your not knowing is willful ignorance. Oh, are you talking about the molecules in the corpse thing? Yeah, that's very strange. Because there is an answer, right? There's an answer that is a truth. If an answer is true, is it in some way knowable? Right? Are we waiting for the I mean, we have what do you call it? Just technology is advances to the point where we have we could see subatomic particles and whatnot. So is there going to be at some time some sort of a mechanism whereby we could scan an object and count its exact number of molecules? Maybe. You're still ignorant of a knowable fact. That's the molecular count of Shakespeare's corpse. Yep. So I don't understand his point. I got what he was trying to say, but that was not a good metaphor. Ancients say that it is an evil sign to have a little head or a straight breast. Okay. There are more things in heaven and earth than exist in your philosophy, Horatio. Is that Hamlet? I'm good at being ignorant. It's a superpower. What's up, Red? Nick. What's up, Kirby? Let's see. Sorry, getting past all the personal stuff. We don't have time for that. Agnostics say God might exist, but they don't have enough proof. Atheists say God absolutely does not exist because they do not have enough proof. One of these is more assertive than the other, right? It's also, I mean, honestly, it is a claim. No, it's not a claim. Things just are. How did the things get to be where they are? You know, without God. Okay, without God, what is the mechanism? We'll make something up and we'll believe that because we don't want to believe in God. There's only two sides of that coin, man. There's only two sides of that coin. Well, if Mike's not going to start, I can go find something else to do. What are you talking about, Lady Celtic Moon? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean getting into Job? Oh, I'll get into Job, don't worry. Can anything lifeless change without an outside source acting on it? Right? And I always think it's funny when people who just don't want to believe in God will believe that aliens seeded the earth. Some alien life seeded the earth with DNA, like Prometheus, in order to get life started. And it's like, you're just kicking the can down the road. What started the aliens? You're still working within your materialist, dogmatic reality. The aliens had to start. You still kicking abiogenesis down the road doesn't work. The aliens would have had to have required abiogenesis. If they were seeded, their aliens would have had to require abiogenesis. At some point, you have to get from dead chemicals and matter and energy into the mechanics of life. And then it's the chicken or the egg thing, the DNA or the machine. Can you build the machine without the DNA? Can the DNA exist without the machine? It's the modern day chicken and the egg thing. Yeah, the first half hour is chat and whatnot. Assertions demand evidence. Correct. All right. I think we're almost back to the front. Sorry, context regarding agnostic scientists. Brooklyn seemed to be claiming agnosticism is unintelligent, which you would have to argue few or no scientists are agnostic. It's also just a really, since science is deemed to be rational. No. Communion ratio sounds like Hamlet. Oh my gosh, Star Trek. Being agnostic is logical. Being atheist is not. Right. Being atheist is emotional. Being agnostic is rational. What manner of speech was used at the beginning of the world, and how the division of languages began at the first? I think it was Hebrew. I can't say for 100% sure, but I think Chuck Missler did a message on that one time. I can't remember what his exact argument was, but that was his conclusion, that it was most likely Hebrew. The one that gets me is that the atheist will say, what created God, and yet say matter and energy always existed. True. For now on, I'm going to envision every silly atheist argument as being voiced by Bobcat Goldthwait from Police. Matter became everything. Buddy Rabbit, the secularist has to appeal to what are called brute facts. They are facts that can't be explained or justified by either knowable facts or are beyond asking for first causes. Mike, you've got more patience than me. Those who claim to be agnostic, I find it easier to be patient and have grace. The staunch atheist just seems angry about things they supposedly don't believe in. Yeah, it's emotional. Atheism is an emotional position. I'm just going to repeat that. Brute facts are utilized as baseline assumptions of reality that are assumed specifically for the use of linguistic tools in scientific or philosophical study. All right. Yeah, matter and energy are eternal, for example, is a brute fact. Yeah, they'll never get beyond. How do you know? Were you there in the eternal? And also, that's why Joseph Smith wrote that the universe was eternal, because that was the accepted scientific understanding at the time. That the universe it was before the Big Bang was discovered, and put a beginning point to the universe. Anyways, let's get to Job. Let me find the page. All right, let's see here. Blue letter, no, well, King James. It just looks better. Job 27 is where we are at. La di da di da 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 da. You ever thought you had a bad day? Job had a couple bad days. Job and all his moralizing friends. Kirby, la la dee, la la da. My favorite curly quote. La la dee, la la da, la da dee, la da da. All righty, let's go. Actually, let me make this wider so it fills the screen. All right. Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, as God liveth, who hath taken away my judgment, and the Almighty who hath vexed my soul, and while my breath is in me, and the Spirit of God is in my nostrils, my lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceits. Oh, that's weird. The Spirit of God is in my nostrils. Have you been hearing? I've seen a couple of videos to the point of like, the name of God, the Tetragrammaton, is YHWH. There's no vowels. There's no consonants. There's no consonant sounds. Right? And so the very name of God sounds like taking a breath. And people say it's like the first word a baby utters is the name of God, and the last thing on your lips when you die is the name of God. God breathed into Adam, and he became a living soul. And then here, the Spirit of God is in my nostrils. While my breath is in me, the Spirit of God is in my nostrils. It kind of makes you understand the Jewish position that that the soul doesn't enter the spirit, the body, until the baby takes the first breath. It is. I mean, they get that for me. You know, I don't know that I hold to any of that. I don't know that. I mean, that none of that is very like super conclusive to me. It's just this verse reminded me of all of that. My lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. God forbid that I should justify you. Till I die, I will not remove mine integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast, and I will not let go. My heart shall not reproach me so long as I live. Let mine enemy be as the wicked, and he that riseth up against me as the unrighteous. For what is the hope of the hypocrite? Though he hath gained, when God taketh away his soul, will God hear his cry when trouble cometh upon him? Will he delight himself in the Almighty? Will he always call upon God? I will teach you by the hand of God that which is with the Almighty will I not conceal. Behold, all ye yourselves have seen it. Why then are ye thus together in vain, altogether in vain? This is the portion of the wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. He buildeth his house as a moth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He openeth his eyes, and he is not. Terrors take hold on him as waters. A tempest stealeth him away at the night. The east wind carrieth him away, and he departeth. And as a storm hurleth him out of his place. For God shall cast upon him, and not spare. He would fain flee out of his hand. Men shall clap their hands at him, and shall hiss him out of his place. So that's saying the sort of the people even who are blessed here, we all have the same end. That's kind of what I'm getting out of that. I know this is supposed to be a study, but I don't know where to go with that. It was elegantly put, right? It was it's a lot of elegant words to say something shall hiss him out of place. Like, yeah, that's an interesting shall hiss him out of his place. For God shall cast upon him and not spare, for he would fain flee out of his hand. Men shall clap their hands at him and shall hiss him out of his place. But this is talking about the rich man, right? Gosh darn it. Sorry, I was on the wrong screen. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He openeth his eyes, and he is not. You know, I'm going to read that in a different. Job 27. Why does everything go to the NIV? It's so annoying. I don't want the NIV. Bible versions. All right, let's do English Standard ESV. All right, where is it? Oh my gosh, why isn't this? There we go. Let's go to 19. He goes to bed rich, but will do so no more. He opens his eyes. Sorry. He opens his eyes, and his wealth is gone. Terrors overtake him like a flood. In the night, a whirlwind carries him off. The east winds lift him up, and he is gone. It sweeps him out of his place. It hurls at him without pity. He flees from its power in headlong flight. It claps. The east wind. Still talking about the east wind and the whirlwind. It claps his hands at him and hisses at him from its place. Okay, so in the case, this men isn't there in the Hebrew. God shall cast upon him. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do my handy dandy grok deep understanding Give me a second. Translation and meaning of. All right. Now do Job 27. Let's do 21 to 23. 21 to 23. All right. Deepest possible meaning of each word in readable prose. The east wind seizes him, a fierce, scorching gust that snatches the wicked from his place, uprooting him like chaff torn from the earth. It sweeps him away with relentless force, hurling him headlong from the refuge he once clutched, his hands grasping at shadows as mercy turns its face. That wind becomes a chorus of scorn. Men whistle and hiss as he stumbles past, their hands clapping in bitter triumph, a mocking dirge for his downfall. From every corner, judgment rises, sounding his ruin, a tempest of retribution that leaves him exposed, stripped of pride, and cast into the dust. Wow, that makes so much more sense than the KJV or the English Standard. Man, I tell you, I want to make that whole I want to read the whole Bible in that deep meaning style. It'd be like this thick though, because it adds so much. Question, Mike in chat. What do we celebrate with Easter again? I have forgotten. Easter is the resurrection of Christ. Why it's called Easter, I think, is it's a little pagan, honestly. But that's why a lot of Christians will call it Resurrection Day. There was a lot of pagan mishmashing with Christianity, I believe. I believe because of the Catholic Church, because they were converting a bunch of pagans into celebrating Christian tradition, and so they took Easter, which I believe Ishtar was, unless this is I'm misinformed. It was the worship of Ishtar. It was roughly the same time as the resurrection or Passover, and that was a celebration that did include eggs and rabbits and fertility and that kind of stuff. But they converted it into a Christian holiday, the resurrection. So we celebrate because the people still wanted their holidays. That's my understanding. But if you want to, what we're celebrating is the resurrection of Christ. So call it Resurrection Day. Ignore the whole Easter thing. Unless someone has some other explanation for why the day of resurrection is called Easter. Easter. Da, da, da. Let's see. Some saw the resurrection and still don't believe. They have Moses and the prophets. If they believe not them, neither will they believe if a man should rise from the dead. That's what Jesus said about the Pharisees, who they watched him doing all these miracles and proving that he was the Messiah, and it was with Moses and the prophets that prophesied that he would be doing these things to prove himself to be the Messiah. And they had those, and they knew them. They had them memorized probably. And still they rejected Christ, even though he did all that. And then, hey, if you're not gonna recognize me from your prophecies, you're not gonna believe when I rise from the dead. Yod He Vav He. Yeah. Got some African dust in my nostrils today. Joe, I don't know what that means. But doesn't the baby already have breath in the lady oven? Not in his lungs. His blood is oxygenated through his mother's breath. But that is a good question. That is a good point. Lady oven. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. So he's talking about a storm. Clapping would be thunder. Question Mike and chat. Oh, I already said that. Still a great time to eat way too many hard-boiled eggs. Yeah. Satan knows God's power more than any other being, I would assume. True. And that mad lad still rebelled. Also very true. Hey, Chuck Keyworth here. What's up? But we have White Thursday, Good Friday, Silent Saturday, at least here in the Netherlands. I don't know how you in America do it. We usually do Good Friday and Resurrection Day. I think I had heard the phrase Silent Saturday before. I've never heard White Thursday, though. What is White Thursday? Of the error committed by the ancient mathematicians and astrologers, yea, and such as have continued to this day in calling the planets by diabolical names and attributing a divinity to them. Who said that? Pureblood. Pureblood is always quoting stuff and then not leaving attributions. Southern wind literally blows red African dust. Oh, really? So you're in Greece, so it's blowing from Africa, from the Sahara, over the Mediterranean. Is it hot? Does it cool down from the Mediterranean by the time it gets to you, or is it still like hot wind? I would guess it was hot, huh? Some of us in the US celebrate Good Friday as well. The others I've never heard of. I'm considering fasting for Good Friday. Greece would go overboard for Easter. It's a 2 weeks affair. Man, even for Jesus, it was only 3 days. Come on. All right. Well, I guess that's about it. Does anybody else have anything else before I just sort of tap out a little bit early? I do have a meeting today, and I got to get a lot of stuff done beforehand. But I thought that was good. Yeah, man, I kind of want to. I might read the next Job chapter completely. Let's see what the how long the next chapter is. I might just break the next chapter up and just do the whole thing with the grok. Gosh, didn't that just add so much more depth and meaning with the deep meaning translation from grok? And it didn't detract from what I was saying. It only added to it, and it made more sense. I don't know. It's like there's so much meaning in the words that just gets lost in the word for word, because our words don't have as much meaning as the original languages. Words have meaning. So it's like when we translate a word like agape and we just say love, it's like, yeah, it's a word for word, but it doesn't have the meaning of agape. And if you did that with all of the words in the languages, it would just make the book 4 times longer. But I really think it reads better. Seriously, if you have any Greek friends celebrating Easter traditionally, make sure to be invited at all costs. Nice. In the Netherlands, the week leading up to Easter is known as the Good Week. The day before Good Friday is known as White Thursday, and the day after is known as Silnet. All right. Period is important to observant Christians, but do not affect public life. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up then. Thank you, everybody, for being here. God bless you all. I hope you had a good time. Brooklyn Lou, whatever you got next, let's hear it. I always enjoy it. I have a Mexican family. I get those fiestas. Yeah, boy, says Redneck. All right, God bless us, everyone. We'll see you on the next exciting episode of Cross Examinations. No outro. Let's go. God bless.